Like I said before, I like to do things iteratively in smaller pieces. So I don't have to like really worry about what the return type is. As soon as I start writing the code, I know like what the return type is going to be. So I start with a void and return null or return nothing initially, and then figure it out as I go. So I know when I say get card items, I want this function to be able to, or this method to be able to return a list of all the cart items that match the cart ID. That's the whole idea. So this is going to be a list because it is going to be an aggregation. So if you go and look into our shopping cart view model, that's exactly what we want, cart items. We want a list of cart items. Second thing we want is cart total. So let's make sure we write a function for that one also. This one is a no-brainer, right? This is going to be this is how I start. So this is going to always return a 0 unless I write some code. Okay, so again, what is it going to be? So I am going to be again looking at the database, right? So what am I going to do? So I want to actually like from the database, I want to select a column, add up the column and return the sum, right? So, and then the result is going to be a decimal. It's going to be a decimal called total. I'm going to be summing some column from a database. So that's the way I like to think of it. So from cart items in carts. So I'm going to be looking at cart items in a cart where cart items.cart ID equal to shopping cart ID. What am I returning? Select, let's for example say cart items dot price. Oh, I can't directly access it. Album selected dot price. If I do this, okay, this is going to return to me all the cart items that match the cart ID, and then it is not going to return the entire object. It's going to only return to me this specific entry. So it is going to return price, a list of all the prices of all the cart items that match my cart ID. And then it is going to sum that, and that sum is what's going to go into this total here. But here's the thing, we have to like think about it a minute longer, because we just don't want to like return the price. There are two aspects to this. We have the quantity and the price. So if my cart item, the price is 10 bucks, but I have like 5 of that same item in my cart, I want it to return 50 bucks, right? So I want to make sure that I correctly multiply the count by the price. So that is what I want. I just don't want the price. I want it to be cart items dot count. I want to multiply that, right? So in case of sometimes we could have like null values, so it's better to have like typecasted to nullable. So that in case it is a null, it's going to return a 0. So we are going to return a total, or we are going to return 0. So this is what's going to happen in my cart total. Okay. So let me just okay, here. So I just want you to soak this in for a second and make sure you get all the pieces and parts. So far we have got the get cart, which is a static method. It takes the HTTP context. and then it is going to call get card ID. Get card ID is going to check the session variable and return a GUID no matter what. If we don't have an entry, we create an entry. If we have an entry, we return the entry. Get card item is going to return a list of all the card items that match my shopping cart ID, and the get card total is going to give me a list of the it's going to like multiply the price by the count for each entry of cart items that match my cart ID, and then it's going to return the sum. If that sum is going to be a null for some reason, it's going to make return a 0. Okay. Okay, let me just give you a second here so you can look at my code. Okay, now let's go back to our controller. So far we have nobody has called this get card items or get card total. Nobody has called it. So we are going to be calling it, but why do we even care for it? Why do we have to do any of this? The reason why we need any of this is because we want to like populate our view model and call our view with this view model. So the shopping cart controller index is going to be calling a view, right? So it is going to be calling a view, and it is going to be using a shopping cart view model. Oops. Right? So this view model needs 2 items inside, right? So it needs cart items and then cart total. That's why we created our function. So for cart items, we are going to say cart.get cart items. And this is going to be cart.get cart total. See, these don't take any parameters because they are going to be using the shopping cart ID of this cart. This cart has shopping cart ID, right? So it's because that is stored for this session, it is going to be using that. That is why we are not passing any parameters. So these two are going to be set by making a call like this. And then here we want to send the view model. I hope this makes sense. We have not created a view model yet. The shopping cart view model is empty right now. So let's go and add a view. It's going to be empty. That's going to be my title. Okay, so let's include our view model here. MVC music store application dot models. So that's going to be our model. That's the one we want, right? The shopping cart view model. Okay, so we don't need this guy. So let's think about it. What are we going to get? We are going to be getting just one object. We are going to be getting one object, but then of the 2 objects we are going to be getting, one of them is going to be like a list. So we have to remember to step through. So let's do the easy part first. So at model, cart total, right? So we can display the total.